Welcome back everyone. So in today's video we will be going through a very simple ELT process, and on this one we will be extracting and loading data from SQL Server over to PostgreSQL database. And then essentially in ELT process, the third step here will be to do some transformations, but in this video we'll actually not go through the transformations, but if you are interested in this, I have a number of videos on transformations. But basically the idea is you can use a tool like dbt, Python or SQL to transform your data once it lands into your database or your data warehouse. But again, in this video, because I have received a number of requests on this topic, we'll just go through a basic scenario of extract and load process, and the databases that we'll be using in this case are SQL Server and PostgreSQL database. In the last video that I did, I made a video on how to load data from PostgreSQL database to SQL Server. So this one is kind of a reverse of that, where we are now getting data from SQL Server to Postgre database. And in this scenario, we'll be using Pandas or a Python library called Pandas to do this. Now there are a number of ETL tools that you can use to extract and load data, but in this case, we'll just use Python because it is pretty straightforward to do that. And then we'll load our data, and then from there you can just go ahead and play with your data once you have them in your environment. This is a good use case for like scenarios if you have, or if you're doing in case you're doing migrations and you just want to quickly extract data from one database to the other. This might be useful for you. All right, so let's go over now to our code. So I'm just going to switch over and I will move over to Visual Studio Code to do that. And again, before I switch over, if you are not familiar, extract, load, transform, these are very common terminologies within data engineering. And basically with extract, you are ingesting your data from the source. You're getting the data from where it lives. So it could be APIs, databases, websites. You're basically extracting that data from the source, and then you're loading it into a staging layer where you can go ahead and start using that data. Okay, so that's basically a very high level you know quick overview of what it is, right? You're extracting the data, loading it, and then you'll go ahead and transform. So in the transformation layer here, this is where you will probably be cleaning this data and then writing your analytics queries and then building dashboards and things like that, right? Okay, so we will now move over to Visual Studio Code, and Visual Studio Code is a code editor that you can use to write your code and all of that. If you have a different tool that you use to code, just go ahead and use that. For me, I'm using Visual Studio Code for this work. Okay, so once you're in Visual Studio Code, what I've done here is I've set up this process already. But basically what you want to do is you create a folder in your workspace. In my case, this is called simple ETL repo, and then you go ahead and load that into your Visual Studio Code. Ignore all of these other folders here. This is just I do have a repo with a number of folders, and these are basically my projects that I do on current basis or on day-to-day basis. So just ignore these other ones. Just focus on this one for now, simple ETL. And then in simple ETL here, this is the folder that I made for the last video here, Postgre to SQL Server. I do have the code for this one in GitHub. But for this video, I have went ahead and created another subfolder within this one called SQL Server to Postgre. And then I have these two files here, right? The DDL and the ETL script. So the DDL here, I do have like the DDLs and the insert statements for like the data that we'll be working on for this video, and then the script here will contain the actual code that is going to move the data. And then one other thing that you will notice is this requirement.txt file. This is where I keep my libraries for that we'll be using in the code, right? So in this case, we'll be using Pandas for transformations, SQL Alchemy for data connectivity, PsycopG2, this one will let you connect to Postgre, and then pyodbc is for SQL Server. And then this IPython kernel and notebook are there just because I want to run this as a notebook. instead of just Python, but you can do just .py if you want to write the script instead of the notebook. Okay, and then the last thing here is a Python virtual environment. So you do need to have Python virtual environment created. So I've gone ahead and created a Python virtual environment here, and then basically you want to activate that Python virtual environment. So for me, I'll go ahead and do fee and fee. We'll go to pin, and then we go ahead and activate this. Okay, so you can see here that I have now this Python virtual environment activated, and then from there, the next thing that I want to do is to go ahead and install these libraries. I already have them installed, but let's just go ahead and simulate this. So you want to go into where the requirements file is. In my scenario, or in my case, I actually have this one in let's see where this one is. So this one is inside here, I believe. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so it's inside the parent here, ETL, so that's good. Okay, so we will go to simple ETL here, and then we'll just go ahead and list here. You can see I have the requirements file here, and then we'll just go ahead and install the libraries there. So pip3 install r requirements, right? And then once you go ahead and do that, it's going to install your libraries now into your Python virtual environment, and therefore you can start using this environment for your coding and all of that, because the libraries now are loaded into this environment. Okay, and then so once you do that, the next thing that you want to do then is to go over and write your code. So in this case, I'm going to walk you through the code. So we have this ETL script here, and this is basically the script that is going to bring our data and then load it to our database, right? But before we go through this, let's go ahead and prepare our databases. So we'll go ahead and prepare SQL Server and then our Postgre. So I do have a DDL script here, and I'm going to copy this, and we will create this in SQL Server. So basically this is just create table, and you'll have, like, we are creating about 5 tables here and then loading some sample data to this. So I'm going to copy this, and then I will navigate over to dpfer here. So dpfer is a SQL client that you can use to connect to various databases, and as you can see here, I have connections to SQL Server and then Postgre database, and all of these are running locally, right? So I'm going to go to SQL Server, which is going to be our source, and I'm going to create a database here called ETL demo, right? ETL demo. Okay, so we'll create that database, and then I'm going to open a new SQL editor here, and I'm going to paste this code here, right? So this is within the ETL demo database here. I'm going to paste this here, and I'm just going to execute this. I'm going to run this, right? And this has created this will create the tables and then load the data to this. Okay, so if I go here and expand this whole database here, you can see that we have now about 5 tables created, and these tables also contain data in them, right? So you can see like that. Okay, so we have these tables created in SQL Server, and we have data loaded to them. So let's assume that this is the data that you have in your SQL Server, and now you want to move these tables over to Postgre database. How do you go about that? Okay, so we have our source prepared now. Let's go over to our destination, which is going to be where we want this to load or migrate this data to. And in that case, it's going to be this Postgre database here. Okay, so this is going to be our destination in this case now. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a database here, and I will call this database SQL Server, right? SQL Server DB, like that. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and create this. This SQL Server will have a schema called public, and then in this public we don't have any table created. So we want to, when we run our script, we expect those tables that we saw in SQL Server to be available right here, right? Very nice. Okay, so that is the database side, and if you want to know how to set up this environment, I have videos on this. So I have videos on how to download SQL Server, how to download Postgre, and how to download dpfer and set it up. I will include the links for that in the description of this video. Okay, and then now let's go over to our Visual Studio Code here, and let's go through the script. Okay, so this is a DDL here that I was just executing, and I'll just again put this one in GitHub as well if you want to do the same. Now this is the ETL script that we will be running in order to load our data. So if you're going to do the same way that I've done here, which includes running it as a notebook, what you want to do is, once you basically create your file .ipynp, it has to have this extension, and then you want to select your kernel. So this is how Python knows where your libraries are located, right? So if you go here, currently I'm selected to the Python environment we created. You want to select that kernel, okay? So basically you go to Python environments and then select the Visual environment that you have your libraries installed, right? And then that's it. So once you do that, then you can go through the code. So the way I've done it here, I have first gone ahead and included the inputs and configurations as the first block here, and this basically is going to import Pandas, pyodbc, SQL Alchemy, and then some other libraries that are useful for us in this case. And I have put configurations here for SQL Server, which includes the server, username, password, DB, driver. In this case, you may need to install the driver into your machine if you don't have it. And then the rest of these other things, in production environment, of course, you don't want to expose this, but I'm just putting this because this is a demo and running locally, so I'm just hard coding the name of the password here. And then it's localhost. I'm using sysadmin or user, system administrator, and then this is the ETL demo, which is what we just created, right? We just created that right here as the database. So that is the source database that we have included here. And then on the Postgre side, I'm using Postgre user, and then also that's the username. Sorry, that's the password. Localhost is the server name. This is the port, and then that is where we want to write our data to SQL Server DB, which is also what we created over here, right? So we don't have data on this one here, and what we expect is after we run this script, the data, those tables that were in SQL Server, in this schema will be loaded over to this database here in Postgre, right? Very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. So I'm just going to execute this, and as you can see, this one is saying libraries imported and config set. So that's awesome. That looks good. And then we move to the next block here, and here we are creating the engines and testing the connections. And basically here, all we're doing is passing the connection string. So we are configuring or creating our connection string here for SQL Server. And in this connection string, we are passing the driver and creating from that configuration, the server here, the database, the user, the password. And then if you're using a driver version 18 and above, I think these additional configurations are required. Encryption, you want to turn it to yes, and then trust the certificate to yes as well. So you want to include that. And then here we are passing this connection into our engine here to create our engine URL, right? And then so that's for SQL Server. And then for Postgre, this is where I'm building for Postgre here. So Postgre is kind of like if you actually, when you're creating these connections, the URLs here, in some scenarios you may need to put this at symbol, and if your password contains this at symbol the way mine does here, this one will get confused when it encounters this symbol here. So to avoid that, you want to use this function called code URL. Basically this is going to encode this and then treat these characters as actual data values. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just passing that here, and then so that the password can be passed properly, right? So that's what it's doing there, and then we're passing that URL into the create engine, and this is going to create the engine for Postgre. And then down here, I'm just going to go ahead and test these connections. Basically we're trying to see if we can connect the database in this case. So we'll go ahead and run this, and as you can see, connection to Postgre is good, and then to SQL Server is also successful. So we are able to connect to our source, which is SQL Server, and also to our destination, which is Postgre. So that's also very important, because if this one fails, then you're not able to actually perform this, because you want to be able to connect to your source and target in order to move data, right? Very nice. Okay, so that is good. And then the next step here that I'm doing here is basically just doing some sanity check here, where we are going to our source and inspecting our schema to see if there are actually tables in there. So in this case, we're using this SQL Alchemy function called inspect, and it's just going to call this function, pass the schema, and if there are any tables here, it's going to list it. So let's go ahead and run that. And as you can see, there are 5 tables in our source, and these are the tables that exist there. So yeah, you can see these are actually the tables that we created in that DGS script. So this does exist, or these tables do exist in our source. So we know for sure that these tables are there. In my case, I'm going to load everything that is in this schema here. If you don't want to do that, then you can manually specify which tables you want to migrate, right? So you can just create another data frame here and then pass the dictionary field for the tables that you want to migrate. In my case, I'm going to move everything, okay? And then the next thing here is the migration loop now. So this is where the choice happens, and in this scenario, we are going to now call and iterate through the list of the tables that we have here, the SQL Server tables, and we are going to use Pandas read SQL table to read the tables from that schema. And if there is any empty table we don't want to load, that will skip. And I'm also adding here a destination name here, and this one is we want to name our destination. So basically, when we extract this and load them into our Postgre, I want to append STG at the beginning of this table. So in this case, our customer will be STG underscore customers STG underscore order items, like that, right? So that's what I'm doing here. And then here we are going to now use this function here. So this one here, this load to pg if exists replace, basically this one will say if the table does not exist in the destination in Postgre, go ahead and create it and then load the data. If you don't want this to be the case, go ahead and pre-create a table, and then instead of having replace here, I think you want to do append, and this is basically just going to append the data into the table every time you run it. But in my case, I'm going to use the replace. This is going to be kind of like truncate load. It's just going to create a table if it's missing and then load the data. And then finally, we will print this message once our table has been created, and then it's going to load the data for that. All right, so that's it. So that's pretty much what the script is doing here. It's just going to iterate through these tables and then load them one by one into our destination database. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. There we go. So you can see it's now going to read the table from a SQL Server and then writing customers to Postgre, and it's going to tell you that this one has moved. The customers has moved into STG customers. Order items has moved into order STG order items in the destination. Now let's go back there and then let's check if we do have the data now in our Postgre. So if you refresh this, you can see there we have. Okay, so you can see we have our tables here now with the data available as well. Okay, and you can go back to your SQL Server and do some quick sanity checks. So for example, order items, we have 4 records here, and if we go to our source and check order items, you can see that we have 4 records as well. So at the high level, you can just see that, you know, the record count match between the source and the destination. All right, and that's it. So that's how you extract and load data from your source and load it into the destination. And in this case, we did it using these 2 databases, SQL Server, and loaded over to Postgre Postgre database. All right, and then yeah, on top of that, you can just proceed now and you know, run queries against the data in your target destination. So in this case, you know, you have your records now in SQL or in Postgre, so you can go to Postgre and run queries against those tables, or you can put DB2 models on top of that and do whatever you need to do. Alright guys, so this again was a simple scenario of extracting data from one source and loading it into another destination. And I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please give it a thumbs up, and also do subscribe to the channel if you have not, so that you can be updated when I release videos like this in future. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.